is up, my technician dudes? This is a fun time of year. I'm gonna do my fantasy bracket prediction for the Tech Madness. So let's jump into it. But inevitably, I always make somebody always upset because I don't pick them. So for those of you that I don't choose to go winning around, prove me wrong. You know, text me and say, Shields, you're dumb. You should have went with me. And for those of you that I do choose, prove me right. But either way, go prove it to yourself. And I'm excited to see who's going to win this car. So let's jump into it. Our number one seed, I got Carlos over David in first round. I've got Tommy Tomcat beating out Evan. I've got Dominic moving on. I got Jeff. I'm calling an upset right here. I'm going with the low seed. Jeff Downing, don't disappoint me, man. I've got Morgan. He's been on fire lately, and I can't spell very well. Morgan. I got Thomas in this round. I'm calling another upset. I've got Caleb Cornelius over Seth Stockdale. I've got best friend D'Artagnan. I don't know, man. I'm going with Jesse on this one. Prove me wrong. Hey, congrats on the engagement, though, by the way. Big Poppy. I got Mauricio over Jesse. I got Ben Ray advancing. Calling an upset on this one. I think George is going to move on in that round. I got Marcus Jameson moving on. I got Eric moving on. Down here, ooh, this could go either way. I got Jesse moving on. Then against Jake and Robert, oh man, I got Robert moving on. And I've got Kale moving on. All right, let's jump over to this side. So I got our number 2 seed, Johnny Mickelson. Moving on. Ooh, Zane against Cub. Cub, prove me wrong on this one. I'm going with Zane. I got Jeremy Lawless moving on. I got Terry. Oh man, why did this matchup have to happen? Terry versus Tyler? Going with Terry. And go with Ray. Hopefully you guys can see that there. Jordan and Anthony. Going with Jordan. Going with Brian. Alcott. Jumping over to this side. Gonna go with Charles. Barry Shoemaker. This guy's gonna be tough to beat. He is a beast. Going with Barry. Going with Lauren. This round. Ooh, Wes and Morgan. I'm going with an upset here. I'm going with Wes Langston. Going with Keldon. I'm going with Chris Hansen. Chad Conley. This guy's going to go far in the tournament. Calling another upset. I'm going with Greg. Prove me wrong, Jade. Tony Hart. I've got Richard Hart moving on. All right, that's my first round. Moving on to the next one. I got Carlos over Tom. I got Dominic taking out Jeff. Got Morgan moving on. Between Caleb and Jesse Brown. Calling Caleb again on this one. All right. Oh, Ben Ray and Big Poppy. Go with Big Poppy on this one. Sorry about your luck, Ben. Prove me wrong. I got Marcus Jameson moving on. Now, that's going to be an in-office competition if I'm right on that. All right. I got Eric moving on. And Kel and Robert. I'm going to go with Kel Tabik on this one. Jumping over to the other side, I got Johnny taking out Zane. Got Terry versus Jeremy. I think Terry's gonna get this one. Go prove me wrong, Jeremy. Ray and Jordan. I think Ray moves on this one. Oh, another in-office competition if I'm right on this one. I think Charlie's going to get it. Going with experience on this one. Got Barry winning in this round. For Lauren. Kelvin taking out Wes. Got Chad moving on. And I've got Richard Hart moving on. That, my friends, is my Sweet 16. Moving on to the Elite 8, I got Carlos moving on. We got Morgan moving on. Oh man, this will be a good competition, but I'm gonna go with Big Poppy. And I've got Kale moving on. We got Johnny taking out Terry. We got, oh, what the heck, dude? I got Charlie going far in this thing. Charles in my Elite 8. Don't let me down, Charlie. Barry moving on. And then I've got, ooh, this would be a tough one between Richard and Chad. I got Chad Conley moving on. All right, final four. I've got Carlos taking out Morgan. I've got Kel taking out Big Poppy. Johnny moving on. Barry moving on. That's our final four, boys and girls. Carlos versus Kel, Johnny versus Barry. I'm probably going to be right on this. Then moving on to the finals in this round, I've got Carlos in the finals versus Johnny Mickelson. Two workhorse beasts in the whole thing. And I've got Johnny Mickelson winning the whole thing. He's my fantasy prediction.